examples. As I was saying before we left for lunch, there's so many words in that problem, right? But if we kind of get it down to the nitty-gritty, what we really need. If we look down here, here's the line, y equals 180.8 plus 1.58x, or 15.8x, okay? X is the amount of sugar, y is the hours of freshness, okay? That's really all we need out of that whole big paragraph of information, okay? The rest of it is just telling me where it all came from, okay? And then there beside it, it gives you the scatter plot and it shows you the data, okay? So the first thing it asked me to do is to calculate and interpret the residual for the flour that had 2 tablespoons of sugar and looked fresh for 204 hours, okay? So remember, when we do I need to get back to a regular pen. When we do a residual, okay, we want the actual value minus the predicted value, okay? So the actual value minus the predicted value. Well, if we look in this sentence, it gave me the actual value. How many hours did it look fresh? 204, okay? What we have to do is figure out the predicted value, okay? And to figure out that predicted value, we're going to go up here and we're going to use this equation. So y is going to equal 180.8 plus 15.8. And then what was the number of tablespoons we were putting in there? 2, okay? So we're going to figure that number out, use our calculator to do it, okay? And it gives me 212.4, okay? It gives me 212.4. That is my predicted value. So now I'm going to go over here and do 204 minus 212.4, and that's going to give me negative 8.4, okay? So now it wants me to interpret it, okay? So to get a residual, you take your actual value minus your predicted. And so you might have to figure out that predicted value, okay, and subtract them. It's okay that we got a negative, all right? Because was our predicted value higher or lower than the actual value? It was higher, okay? Which seems weird that we get a negative for higher, but we do, okay? So we would say that the amount predicted was 8.4 hours greater. Okay, so the amount predicted was 8.4 hours greater. That's all it's wanting me to say. Okay, as if it was greater or lower. Okay. The second thing it wants me to do is to interpret the slope and the y-intercept. I think the y-intercept is easier, so I like to do it first. Okay. Up here in this equation, which one of those numbers is the y-intercept? Yep. 180.8, and it's hours, okay, of freshness with 0 tablespoons of sugar, okay? So I'm just looking at what does the y value talk about. It talks about the hours of freshness, and then it's always if I had 0 of the other variables. So with 0 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. The second thing we're going to look at is the slope, okay? Which one of the numbers is my slope? All right, so 15.8. So that means for hours of freshness for every tablespoon of sugar. Okay, so it's a rate of change. How much is my y value changing? Okay, and then the last one, all right, so that deals with learning targets 2 and 3. Okay, let's look at that last one. It says, would you be willing to use the regression line to predict the hours of freshness for a flour that received 10 tablespoons of sugar? It's a yes or a no question. Okay, what was the largest amount of sugar it actually gave me? 3. What does it want me to predict for? 10. Okay, we're going to say no. All right, because it's way outside. If they had said 1.5, we'd have said yes. All right, because it's between 0 and 3. All right, but we're going to say no because 10 tablespoons is outside the data. Okay, you might even see that weird word extrapolation in your answer choices that you pull down. Okay, the extra stuff. Okay, what do you think? Any part of that you need more explanation on? Good with residuals. Okay. All right, let me open up your assignments. You can go ahead and start, and then once I do that, we'll continue real fast. Yeah.
Yeah, let me make an exit run for it. 1, 2.
You work at 7-Eleven?
No. I got that last year for free.
Why?
Okay, it should be open if you refresh now. All right, new people, let's go. It's lesson 3.5 assignment.
You are
What
terrible.
do you mean it won't work?
It doesn't work.
Where's that? 20 years
I
old?
did, so what are you supposed to do?
It wasn't going in.
Did they take it to lunch?
Yeah, listen, it's very.
It's so bad.
That's right, I said
Yeah, like you're starting to do better.
12:42, okay.
That hoe got home.
Where'd he go?
He all the way up there. Won't let me open up the cheese. The Wi-Fi.
For a little while.
I'm not, I think it's just a hostage.